Good afternoon. See if this mic is working. There it is. Good afternoon and welcome to the Hamilton County Board of Commissioners' first meeting of the year, official meeting, January 11th, 2024. And we always introduce, no, what are we going to do? Introduce the dais, and then we're going to have a silent prayer. So please introduce yourselves.
Christy Rischel, Assistant Clerk.
Leslie Hervey, Clerk to the Board.
Stephanie Summerall Dumas, Commissioner.
Good afternoon. I'm County Commissioner Denise Treehouse.
Jeff Aludo, County Administrator.
Charlie Annis, Prosecutor's Office.
And I'm Hamilton County Commission President Alicia Reese. At this time, we always start our meeting with prayer, followed by the Pledge of Allegiance. So please join us in a moment of silent prayer. Amen. Please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. All right. I make a motion to approve the minutes of the previous session.
Second?
Commissioner Reese.
Yes.
Commissioner Treehouse.
Yes.
Commissioner Summerall Dumas.
Yes.
Okay. All right. We open up for public comments. Are there anyone on Zoom? Is there anyone on Zoom? Okay. All right. First speaker, Martha. Say that right? Okay. And it's Fiedler. Sorry, Martha Fiedler. You have 2 minutes.
Good afternoon, Commissioners. My name is Marty Fiedler. I sent you an email last night. If you did not have a chance to read it, here's a long story, short version. Item number 25 on the agenda for today, a bargaining contract between Hamilton County and the International Union of Operating Engineers Local 20, representing stadium facility security specialists at Paul Brown Stadium, now known as Paycor Stadium. I emailed you regarding the vacation time benefit. That benefit was changed in 2023 for Hamilton County employees, and specifically stated the goal of this policy change was primarily to allow the county to better recruit qualified candidates by providing more guaranteed paid time off to staff earlier in their careers. On the day that I was hired, I was verbally told that I would receive that 40 hours of vacation time. On December 15th, I started asking questions about it, and because of that bargaining contract, I do not receive that 40 hours of vacation time. So it was promised to me. I'm now not receiving it, but the contract that you're going to vote on today also does not extend those benefits to the employees who are bound by the bargaining contract. So I'm asking you that you please extend the vacation time benefit that you extend to all of Hamilton County employees to the employees that are also bound by the bargaining contracts. Did you guys have time to read my email?
Thank you. Yes, I did. I can't speak for, but we just got it. So Mr. Aludo will be addressing some of it. Do you want to do it now or wait? Your time for speaking is up. I'm sorry. And
No, that's
when we
fine.
get to that item, he will give some clarity.
Sure, if you want me to.
You want to do it now? Yeah, sure.
I can. So this is an issue I'm just being made aware of now in terms of the employees' concern. So as it relates to the specific concern, I just need to follow up to determine what communication was provided at the time of employment, that type of thing. I just don't know. So that's something I'll have to follow up on. I have talked with HR a little bit since I've been noticed of this, and I think there probably are some places where we can tighten down some communication during the hiring process, just to make sure that people who are coming on understand that they're part of a bargaining unit and what that means. As it relates to the bargaining unit agreement on the agenda for today, that is a document that is the result of a negotiation process between the union and the board. The union has approved that. The board has approved the tentative agreement. We traditionally do, on some occasions we do, as the board passes policy for employees, which apply immediately to exempt employees. On some occasions, we do push those out immediately. An example of that would be parental leave. We don't do that in all cases. In the majority of cases, I believe we typically negotiate those benefits into the agreement. So I would say that as it relates to the agreement today, I'd recommend against. I think any adjustment to that would necessitate an additional conversation with the board and with the bargaining unit. So there's just some context for you, Commissioner.
So someone will reach out to you.
I think that
Your time is, we don't allow us to go back and forth. I'm sorry. Apologize. But we have someone from the administration talk with you. Next, yes, could you have someone, before you leave, somebody can get your information. Can you have that, Mr.?
Yeah, and I think HR has been contact, so I'll ask for him before you just to make sure that we have the appropriate contact information.
Yep.
Someone else will reach out, yes.
Okay, yep, Ms. Dartrey is gonna help you. Next, we have Janiyah Miller. And if there's anyone that wants to talk, we have to fill out a card. So I just want to let you know before we close everything out.
Hi.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon. I'm coming here today to speak as a concerned citizen and a precinct executive. I just want to. I had saw the article last week regarding the exchange between President Alicia Reese and Commissioner Dumas, and I just want to say, as a young Black woman, both of your leadership has been inspiring and has provided a guide to all of us, especially young Black girls who want to be involved in politics, specifically Commissioner Reese. I think your mentorship and support has just meant so much to me as you provide a blueprint for servant leadership. I felt the need to come before you and really express that because there aren't many people that look like me in positions like the ones both of you hold. And so I want to share a brief story, not to mention as an undergraduate student, you taking the time to talk to me and provide sage advice, which motivated me to apply to a congressional internship. This is not something that I ever told you, but want you to know the impact of that conversation. As I just mentioned, as there are not many people that look like us, and at that time, just understanding and realizing who I was and what my identity and the role that I could play in politics. And you have been someone who doesn't just talk about it, but it's present within the community. And I've seen that through the Black Music Walk of Fame and the 513 COVID Relief Bus, which are both national models in their own right. And I think in a time where our democracy is at attack more than ever, as Black women, we must hold each other accountable and stick together as there's room for all of us at the table. And so I really want to end with this quote: "The greatness of community is most accurately measured by the compassionate actions of its members, a heart of grace, and a soul generated by love," quoted by Coretta Scott King. Thank you.
Thank you. Teresa Burns, thank you.
Good evening, board members. I came down here to express something that I wrote after I seen a meeting Monday, the meeting on the exchanging of the roles you have down here. Okay. I am shocked and very disappointed on the flat-out lie of Commissioner Summerall Dumas, of her reasoning, of prayer prepared and abstained her vote on Madam President Alicia Reese to be president during Monday's organizational meeting. For Commissioner Dumas to state that Madam President is unfit due to lack of leadership is simply ludicrous. The qualities of good leadership is communication, accountability, confidence, resilience, integrity, delegation, collaboration, empathy, passion, creativity, and vision. Now, for the past 3 years, Madam President Reese has exemplified and demonstrated this, and her work speaks for itself. Now, I have voted for all 3 of you commissioners on board. However, I believe I made a big mistake concerning my vote for you, Commissioner Dumas. I volunteered for the Reese team and watched and attend most meetings. I have watched and observed the disrespect, bullying, spirit of jealousy, and envy directed towards Madam President. I, along with Commissioner Dumas, attend the same church under the same leadership, which whom is her Chief of Staff, Bishop Bobby Hilton. As I listened as she read her statement, she prayed about as she abstained Madam President Reese's board president. I can confirm that it wasn't from our God, because the God we both serve is a God of order and operates out of love. So in closing, it is my hope that this spirit of jealousy, envy, and disrespect that appears only towards Madam President Reese stops, so that the whole board can move forward in 2004 to better serve the citizens of this great Hamilton County. Thank you.
Thank you. So now we will open it up. We will open it up for comments and also resolutions from the board members. Let me say, as we're going into our first meeting of 2024 official meeting, I'm thankful and excited to be elected the president of the county commission. And that vote has been had, and we are moving forward. I'm asking everyone to put on their calendars February the 6th. February 6th will be the state of the county. It is free and open to all residents here in Hamilton County, and it will take place at 5:30 with a pre-reception and 6 p.m. with the state of the county address. It will take place at the Memorial Hall in Over the Rhine, and it's the Hamilton County Memorial Hall. We hardly ever say that. We say Memorial Hall, OTR now, but it's Hamilton County Memorial Hall, and we're inviting everyone to be there. In addition to calendars of events, we will be having, and Vice President Driehaus will probably tell us about this, along with Mary Maui, where we have expanded to full-time our Women in Commission on Girls, our Commission on Women and Girls. But in April, tentatively, I think it's the 18th, but I wanted to put that on the calendar because I know there are a lot of people. That'll be an evening meeting. And I know Vice President Driehaus will talk about that. That is her initiative. But I wanted to get it on the calendar. We will be doing, in February, we'll have a date next week on honoring for Black History Month. And we'll have that on the calendar. We'll give you those dates next week. So we'll have a full calendar. We've got a lot to deal with. We have not stopped. So if you say, get back to the business of the county, we have not stopped. We are right on the business of the county. We have a budget that we passed that is structurally balanced, a $1 billion budget. You're going to hear about the money getting to the streets and the people we've been able to help. We're going to hear about the expansion of our small business, Office of Small Business, to help more small businesses. You're going to hear about our new position in dealing with the environment and climate change. You're going to hear about our significant amount that we have invested in safety. You're going to hear about our fund that we have to help senior citizens. You're going to hear about the funds that we have and are helping youth. We're going to be talking about all those things. We also have some challenges ahead of us, economic development. We have to deal with a stadium lease and deal that's coming up for expiration. We've got a new branding that is on its way. So we have a lot of things. The 513 relief bus will be expanded to even more medical services to help people, as well as economic services. So we know that this is a tough time for a lot of people. People are trying to survive. Small businesses are trying to hang in there. People are trying to be able to pay their bills and be able to raise their children and have it in a safe environment. And you'll be hearing about a lot of bold initiatives, affordable housing. You'll be able to see what we've done so far with the $40 million that we put toward affordable housing. And we've got some unique and exciting things that we think will not only help with affordable housing, but also diversify the housing base. So we've got a lot of big things to talk about, big things to do, a lot of work to do, a lot of the county that we've got to cover. over 800,000 citizens that we've got to cover, and we're ready to get moving in 2024. I say more in 24 because we did a lot as well in 23. So with that, I'm going to open it up. Vice President Driehaus.
Thank you. I just have a couple of things, and I want to congratulate all those that are sworn in throughout the county with all the jurisdictions. There are 49 jurisdictions in Hamilton County, and there were swearings in all over the place within the last couple of weeks. Some of us attended some of those and had the pleasure and honor of swearing people in. But I especially shout out to the city of Cincinnati. They had a very big celebration swearing in their members for their next terms. And most recently, I did the Conservation District, which is a Hamilton County entity, and swore some folks in there. So not only congratulations to those that have been recently sworn into their positions, whether they're being re-elected or elected for the first time, we look forward to partnering with those people throughout the county and all those different jurisdictions. So congratulations and thank you for the partnership. Secondly, I had the opportunity to go to the animal shelter, the animal rescue down in Coleraine, and then the additional facility that's been set up for some of the overflow. We are moving as a commission, and I know this is an interest of all three of us, to locate a location for a new facility and start moving in that direction. In the meantime, Animal Cares is doing a good job of trying to keep those animals safe and in good stead and giving them opportunities to go outside and play groups and that kind of stuff. So it was a good educational tour. I was grateful for the opportunity to do that. And then lastly, I attended an event with Governor DeWine where he came in and talked a lot about reentry and hiring people that are coming back into society from the jail, from the prisons, and the opportunity that is created when these folks come back to work in our community, and asking the business community to step into that space and say yes to those that are re-entering, provide the supports that are necessary, and make sure that those individuals have that opportunity so that they don't have the inclination to recidivate and go back into the jail or the prison. I want to do a big shout out to Trina Jackson, who was in the room. She is the Hamilton County Reentry coordinator, and she and her team do a fantastic job. And so I just wanted to, he recognized her. I want to double down on that and recognize the work that she and her team do. But it was a good opportunity for businesses to hear from one another about how to make that work in a business setting. And Nehemiah was there. They're kind of the gold standard of how to do this well. So it was really an interesting forum, and I look forward to helping to build that kind of momentum in the business community to create opportunities. Thank you.
Thank you very much. On the swearing in, I just forgot to say also those who were sworn in at the, I want to thank our treasurer, Jill Schiller, and our auditor, Bridget Kelly. They had the swearing in of the revision, and I want to just give them a shout out because they're going to have a lot of cases. They're expecting about 10,000, and so I want to give a shout out to all those who got sworn in this week for the Board of Revisions as well. Commissioner Dumas.
Thank you. Just a couple things. Once again, for those who are watching for the first time our regular meeting, Happy New Year to everyone, and wishing everyone a prosperous 2024. As we talk about reentry, I want to talk about an initiative that I had started last year. It's called RISE, and it stands for Reentry into Society and Employment. And our administration is going to be looking at how we can go about hiring more people that have come from the prison system, but do it in a fair way. I talked to Trina Jackson and asked her how many ex-offenders has Hamilton County hired, because we have many, many open positions. The answer is 0. So we're going to work very hard to change that number by the end of the year. So RISE, if you know anyone, just keep their ears to the ground for that initiative. In addition, PLOT is another initiative that I started last year, preparing for life's opportunities today. JFS is looking at that now. I've met with JFS. It really talks about young men, young women, moms and dads, to help them cultivate their skills as mothers. It came to me because there was an article about dads, and the article was Dads Do Hair Too. And they were teaching dads how to do the hair of their young daughters. So I thought about the moms who really may not know how to be mothers, who may not even know how to tie a tie, and how we can help those mothers to be learn those skills, but also to look at the young people as far as interviews about advocacy, all those things as they move forward into the social realm as they get older. And I'd like to also talk about Inspire, which started last year. It's an initiative that I developed and the board helped and supported. We're completing our second round. I don't want to quote the number because Alice is not here, but I want to say 15,000 people we've helped, young people, young groups. When you add up all the groups, Inspire is an initiative where grassroots groups that are coaches, that are helping with drill teams, things like that, like bands. A band came in here before we ended our 23, and we bought equipment for the boxing rings. We also bought instruments for them. And so those are the things that Inspire does. We're trying to promote the coaches and the mentors so they don't give up, and also promote the young people so they know that we care about them. Lastly, there's another initiative that I brought up last year, Beyond Your Imagination. And this is where young people that are connected to JFS who are in foster care or adoptive young people, this allows them to experience the activities and events that are going on in the county. They should not be any different than anybody else that is in a natural family. And so we made sure through JFS, and it will continue this year, that they are able to experience the same things. And I want to thank my colleagues because every initiative that was brought up, they have supported financially. The RISE with the reentry, right now we don't need any money for that. And the plot is from JFS, and Inspire is also coordinated through Hamilton County. So I want to thank my colleagues for supporting all those initiatives. And that's all I have.
Thank you. Couple more announcements. This weekend is Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. Celebration of the life of Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. There are lots of activities, but I do want to highlight one because Mr. Paul Booth, who mother was the secretary for Dr. King. He was here on Monday, and they are hosting with his son now, who is Dr. Paul Booth Jr., and they're hosting something tonight at kicking off Dr. King celebration, 6:30 p.m. at Legacy Point. And just want to invite people, it's free, they can go out to that. Then also UC Health and University of Cincinnati College of Medicine will host their 51st annual Martin Luther King Day celebration at Kresge Hall. And I was happy to be a part of a video where they're going to play to honor, one of the honorees is Dr. Odell Owens, and that is free and open to the public at 10:30 on tomorrow. And then we have downtown, the major march that will be taking place on Monday. So there will be a breakfast at the Museum Freedom Center at 8 a.m., and then people will begin to line up at 10 to get ready to march to Music Hall. So wanted to let people know about that. Bundle up is going to be cold, supposedly, but maybe the weatherman is wrong. I'm hopeful that he's wrong. And then I also want to mention Lincoln Heights Missionary Baptist Church will host their MLK celebration, and that's going to be on Sunday at 10 a.m., and I want to thank them. I'm one of the honorees, and so I want to thank them for that, and that is open to the public as well. So I'm going to ask our communications folks if we could put some of the calendar, I think there's like a public calendar and maybe a link to the calendar if people want to know different activities. Hawkswork Blood is doing something. The Museum Center is having something that's open and free for children to participate. And that would be good that people can go to our website. I also wanted to highlight, I forgot to highlight the youth amateur sports, which we put in the budget to look at because of tourism. And tourism, where our board is always looking at how we can bring more finances into Hamilton County from outside, and that way keep the cost down on the people who live here. But we've got some outstanding athletes. We've got some outstanding youth that are in all kinds of sports and dance competitions, cheerleading competitions, and we've got parents, soccer moms and dads, and basketball and baseball and swimming. And one of the things we saw that there's facilities outside of Hamilton County, and those are dollars we're missing out on. But it's a $92 billion industry for amateur youth sports. And then you've got all of the colleges that come here and recruit folks. The UC just had a big game this week, lost by 1 point. Ooh, that was a tough one. And Xavier played number one UConn, who had won the national championship, but we almost beat them. But we've got some outstanding youth, and it'd be great to have all the people coming here. So we've gotten some great feedback. We're going to get a report from Victus soon, but I've been getting a call. I've been getting some calls, and even one group that's getting ready to try to build something, and they're looking at Hamilton County or Warren County. You know we want them in Hamilton County. So anyway, just wanted to highlight that. I think that's a great positive thing. With that, I'm going to go to some by leaves because we have some appointments. And I'll start off and I open it up to my colleagues because I know we each like to thank folks who are volunteering to be on these boards because we have a lot of boards and we need expertise. So we thank everyone who has applied and ask people to keep applying because we have lots of board appointments. Item number 1 is a resolution appointing a member to the Economic Inclusion Advisory Council, Randy Bush. By leave number 2 is a letter from Jason Stevens, the Speaker of the House, appointing State Representative Bill Seitz to the Transportation Improvement District. I would add can we please put his first name? We just put Seitz. Can we put Bill Seitz, Representative Bill Seitz? Item number 3 is a resolution authorizing the execution. Wait a minute. No, we don't want that one. Okay, that's it? I thought we had a lot more people we appointed. Where are they at? I'm putting my glasses.
5 and 6.
Okay. Yeah, okay, so we got 1 and 2. Now we're going to by leave 5, resolution appointing a member to the Hamilton County Law Library Resource Board, John Kobe. By leave number 6, a resolution appointing a member to Earthworks Appeal Board, Adam Berner. I would make a motion to approve and accept, for the record, items by leave number 1, 2, 5, and 6.
Second.
Commissioner Reese.
Yes.
Commissioner Dreehouse.
Yes.
Commissioner Summer Dumas.
Yes.
I'll open it up. Vice President Drew.
As you said, just a big thank you to all those that are willing to participate in this way and volunteer to serve on these boards. We're very grateful. It's really important work. So just thank you to them.
Commissioner Dumas.
Well, what would we do without volunteers? We just cannot do it. So I thank them also. And specifically by leave 1, the Economic Inclusion Advisory Council, our entire premise as a board is economic inclusion and diversity. So this is not that the other ones are not important, but to make sure we're filled to our vacancies are completed. It's very important as we move forward in this whole board and our whole entirety as a county. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay. Mr. Aludo.
Thank you. I've got multiple by leaves. First and foremost, though, just a couple of items, housekeeping here. by leave 7, if I could ask that we hold that until the regular agenda, because it is the one of the One Ohio grants that was just from a procedural and administrative perspective took a little while longer to make it to the table, but it did make it. So I just thought it might be appropriate if we hold that until we do all the other One Ohio grants as well. So that's by leave 7, and I also have a replacement for by leave 9. I'll get this to the clerk, but essentially it's just and I'll walk through it when we get there, but I just want you to know there's a slight change to by leave 9, nothing of substance. So I'll just walk through these very quickly. I think the first one on your agenda, commissioners, that has not already been enacted on is by leave number 3. This is a resolution authorizing the execution of an agreement between the Board of County Commissioners and Ackerman Enterprises, doing business as the Ackerman Group, related to the Governor's Hill Apartment LLC, making certain findings with respect to a community reinvestment area of the county. This is the CRA application that the board heard about in Tuesday's staff meeting. I believe the representative from Ackerman is here today, as is representatives from Alloy Development. If the board has any additional questions, the administration does recommend approval.
Thank you very much. We did have I think, a very good and a thorough and extensive presentation and meeting, and I do want to thank you because you were able to answer the questions transparently and could break some things down that might be questions, but there still may be some other questions. I will open it up, Vice President.
I don't have any questions. Thank you again for being here. I think this is a really interesting project, kind of a different direction for that part of town, and I'll be interested to see how the mixed use plays out in that area. I'm excited about the project and appreciate it, and I do want to note that the township was here on Tuesday and they too support the project. Thank you.
Yes. Commissioner Dumas?
Thank you. I also want to thank you for coming Tuesday. It was very clear what you guys are trying to do. And also, I thought the CRA was appropriate. We sometimes have other communities come in with a higher ask. I thought your ask was very appropriate, and the environmental impact is what was important to me also. So thank you so much. I appreciate it.
Thank you. I make a motion to approve by leave 3.
Second?
Commissioner Reese?
Yes.
Commissioner Dreehouse?
Yes.
Commissioner Summer Dumas?
Yes.
Thank you, Commissioners. Item by leave 4, this is Resolution P013-24. This is accepting the lowest bid for ITB 132-23. This is an agreement with Browning Chapman LLC for $389,777 at Paycor Stadium. This relates to the club seat project that we're doing and the waterproofing of the concrete and infrastructure under those seats while they are being removed. The administration recommends approval.
Thank you. I do have a question on this one. One of the things we just talked about was the great work that Trina Jackson is doing, Director Jackson is doing with reentry and second chances, and I think is a strong policy of this board. One time we did some seats. I was not here at that time, and might have been years when you were just doing something with the Great American Ballpark. I don't know.
It was, correct.
I think Vice President Dreehouse, I don't know if you were here there, but it was a while back. But the point was, I remember reading an article that our reentry office had done something different and unique that the county, no one else had done, and they were able to put reentry folks to be able to do these seats. And also that, as Commissioner Dubas just mentioned about seeing that we haven't hired any second chance folks, but we are promoting hiring of second chance folks. Is this an opportunity to do something similar to what we did at Great American? They seem to have done a good job with the replacement seats there. Is there an opportunity to have a partnership with our reentry office to do something similar?
Commissioners, I can check with reentry and with Stadia on as it relates to the seat project itself and see what they're doing for workforce. This is just literally the waterproofing aspect of it. So this isn't the seats themselves. This is just the actual application of the waterproofing material, that type of thing. Okay. But you are correct. That did occur down at Great American Ballpark. It was a partnership between our stadium parking group and the Department of Reentry. It does slightly precede my time as administrator, but I'm happy to go back and look at that and see how we might be able to apply those learnings to additional projects we're doing down at the stadium, whether it's for seats or anything else that we're doing.
Okay, thank you. Yeah, I think we are doing some seats. Maybe it's not on this one. We're doing something with
We
seats
are
or just?
absolutely doing seats. That was a project the board approved in December. This is a project that is, while those seats are up, getting the waterproofing under.
Okay.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay. Well, that'd be great if you could
Yeah,
check
I'm
into that.
happy to follow up and get the board a broader report on that project.
Yeah.
In and of itself, because it's something that the county did receive quite a bit of notoriety for, and so I would like to get the board, because none of us were. I may have been with the county, wasn't in this position,
Okay.
but just to give all of us a little bit better understanding as to what occurred with that project.
Okay, great. Vice President Dreehouse.
Yeah, thank you. I think it might be helpful to get Trina Jackson in here to talk about where things are with reentry, what she is trying to do, along with some of the other things that have been discussed, and make sure that we're leading by example, as you both have said. So I think that's important. So maybe we can bring her in for a staff meeting to get an update related to her department.
Yep, we'll get it on the calendar.
Yeah, thanks.
Commissioner Dumas.
No comments on this issue.
Okay. I make a motion to approve by leave number 4.
Second.
Commissioner Reese?
Yes.
Commissioner Dreehouse?
Yes.
Commissioner Summer Dumas?
Yes.
Thank you, commissioners. Let's see, we were holding by leave 7. By leave 8 is related to by leave number 4. This is just a budget adjustment related to the appropriation for the project and for some ancillary engineering services at Paycor Stadium. The administration recommends approval.
Okay. I just have one thing I want to just also keep noting on these. I want to be very intentional. I know we have language now with the MBWB, but I'd like to know what are we, what's the actionable with this? So if you could give us, not just this one, but I know we got $39 million.
All of the pre-renovation projects.
Right,
Yes. Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, great. Vice President Dreehouse.
No questions.
Commissioner Dumas.
No questions.
I make a motion to approve by leave 8.
Second.
Commissioner Reese?
Yes.
Commissioner Dreehouse?
Yes.
Commissioner Summer Dumas?
Yes.
Thank you, commissioners. And by leave 9 is a budget adjustment number 5 for drug court grants in the Court of Common Pleas at $207,018. There was a slight adjustment on this. I will provide the final copy to the clerk that just has one of the grants being posted in the prior fiscal year in terms of when it was received. So that's the only change, but
Do we need, we don't have it in front of us. Is it by leave 9A or will it be?
No, it is still by leave. It's just a replacement for by leave 9. I can put it in front of you right now if you would like, commissioners.
Yeah, so they at least,
Use the paperwork.
yeah, so at least
Happy to do that.
have seen it. Okay. And then you said the only adjustment is the fiscal year?
Yeah, there was a whereas added that says, be it further resolved that grant number 422207 is posted retroactively in calendar year 2023.
Okay.
That's the only change.
Okay. I'll open it up. Vice President Dreehouse.
I have no questions. I do think it's noteworthy that these grants are coming into drug court, and I'm glad to be passing this. Thank you.
Commissioner Dumas.
I just think it's great that we're getting more funding for that purpose. That's all I have.
Awesome. I make a motion to approve by leave 9.
Second.
Commissioner Reese?
Yes.
Commissioner Dreehouse?
Yes.
Commissioner Summer Dumas?
Yes.
Did I need to say as amended or no? No? Okay, just making
Just
sure.
replaced it, so.
Oh, just replace it. Okay. All right, going to the calendar now, Mr. Engineer. Happy New Year, Mr. Beck.
Happy New Year. Good afternoon. 3 items in front of you today. Item number 1 is a resolution to put the 2024 resurfacing program, Project 502402, out to bid. This will include resurfacing county roads in Anderson, Coleraine, Greene, and Miami townships. Our engineer's estimate is $4,686,000. That funding will come out of the Road and Bridge Fund and Permissive Auto. We're doing Dog Trot Road, East Miami River Road, Ebenezer Road, 8 Mile Road, and Van Blarcom Road. Total of 5.35 miles. Item number 2 is a resolution for the 2023 sidewalk repair program, allowing us to take any unpaid sidewalk repair bills and forward to the county auditor for collection. This year we had approximately 90% of the bills were paid on time within the 60-day period. So the resolution reflects the remaining 10% that did not get paid. Those will be assessed to their taxes, and the majority of those will be split over a 5-year period. So their yearly amount is $88. Item number 3 is a resolution regarding vacation of a 60-foot easement on Old Hillside Road. This was brought before the board on October 26th of last year. We have reviewed it. This is basically a report for your information. We have notified the petitioner that there are some changes needed to be made in his plat for the vacation, and we're waiting to hear back from him. So this is just for your information.
Okay, I will open it up. Vice President Dreehouse.
I have no question.
Commissioner Dumas.
Yes, for item 1, you're completing the 2024 resurfacing program.
Correct.
Is this the only program you will have this year?
Yes, typically we budget about $4.5 million for just resurfacing alone. And we try to get it out in January so we can get the best bid when contractors are not as busy. This does not include other projects that will have resurfacing in it that is done with other grants that we get, such as OPWC or the SORTA grants. Those don't fall under our resurfacing program, but a lot of them are resurfacing projects.
And that was my concern as I looked at the areas, Anderson, Colerain, Green, and Miami Township. Are we going to expand into other areas? And you sort of just answered it, that it'll come out of different funding.
Yes, it'll come out of different projects. And the way we do our program was we try to have a 5-year program on our resurfacing. We actually rate all our pavements, and we try to take the worst condition, highest traffic volume roads and prioritize those.
Okay.
So that's how we do it. And we don't do it by township. That just happens to be the townships that they fell into this year.
Okay, great. Thank you. That's all I have.
Thank you. I have one question on item number 2, because I know it says $0
Yes.
on here. And then you mentioned $88.
That's the cost to the property owner.
Property owner. And there's only one outstanding, is what you were saying?
We have 10% of what the work that was done of the property owners that did not pay, and that's what it'll be. There's I think the list was in your packet.
Yeah, I have it in
Looks
fact.
like there's
it's
eight.
$0.
Yeah, it's $0 to the county.
county,
It's
yeah.
just allowing us to send it to the auditor to put on their tax bills.
Gotcha. Okay. And it's 10%.
10% of the total property owners, correct?
Okay. Okay. I'll make a motion to approve items 1, 2, and am I receiving for the record item 3 or?
I believe that's correct.
Okay.
It's just information.
Second.
Commissioner Reese?
Yes.
Commissioner Dreehouse? Commissioner Summer Dumas?
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you. Next, Mr. Ludo, we've got several resolutions from the
Lisa Webb is here to walk us through the One Ohio resolutions. I'll just remind everyone that we are also including by leave 7 in this, so that will be the full slate of One Ohio grant awards. Lisa?
Good afternoon, commissioners. I'm here on behalf of Megan Guthrie. She's on medical leave, but she is joining us via Zoom in case any questions come up that myself and Abby Fritsch, our social program administrator from the Office of Addiction Response, can't handle, but we're going to do our best to fill in. Items number 4 through 11 all relate to the Office of Addiction Response. Before I get to the One Ohio grants, though, I do want to note item number 4 is a contract that is for Drug Treatment and Recovery Court that is utilizing their Bureau of Justice Assistance grant that they were awarded 2 years ago. And that funding is specifically for a media contract. Drug Treatment and Recovery Court is going to create a testimonial video explaining the work, purpose, and mission of the court to help aid individuals and inmates in letting them know more about the court and that they can choose to become a part of it if they need that additional treatment. So that is $35,300. item number 4. And then item number 10 is a resolution authorizing the commissioners to enter into an MOU with the Sheriff's Office regarding the use of the care pods. This MOU is similar to other MOUs we've done with county departments related to use of One Ohio funding. We want to make sure everything we do within the One Ohio funding is fully transparent, and we have MOUs established with every agency, either contracts with outside agencies or MOUs with any county division, which include outcomes data reporting and requirements within all of those services. That Care Pods MOU specifically for the Sheriff's Office covers expenses related to some capital builds that we need to do within the Care Pods to establish some private space within those facilities for one-on-one treatment services, the staffing for the addiction coordinator position within the Justice Center to help the Sheriff's Office coordinate all of their addiction services, as well as startup costs related to the treatment provider at the Care Pods as they get started with that contract, which should be coming to the commission in the next month or so.
Okay.
Any questions related to those?
No, just you go on through them and we'll open.
I'll get to the really fun stuff.
Yeah.
Can you set that up, Leslie? So we are pleased to have on the agenda 7 grant award contracts using the local funding dollars from Hamilton County's One Ohio distribution. As I'm sure all of the commissioners know, serving on the Region 2 board, the state's allocation is taking a little bit of time to get into the communities, but Hamilton County isn't slowing down. We are making sure we're awarding those grants while we're waiting for that process to work its way through. Just for memory, the local government portion of the One Ohio lawsuit settlements is about 30% going to local governments. Hamilton County has received just over $2 million in allotments so far to date. This is the 2023 approved amount. We approved, sorry, I'm going to skip through some of these, $820,000 to be put out to grant awards. Those 3 categories are workforce development, recovery housing, and prevention services. Just a little bit of background on those grant awards that we put together when we authorized them. The funding for that was not intended to create new programs. It was focused on expanding capacity of existing programs in the community that have proven outcomes and demonstrated effectiveness. I'd also like to note that when we put the RFPs out for this process, they were based on the Region 2 grant application that the Region 2 board has been developing over the last 2 years. The process included the same criteria as that grant priority, including within that priority consideration for programs that promote civil rights, racial equity, increased access to justice, delivery of increased services to substance use treatment, and assuring that everyone has equal access to quality services regardless of race, religion, national origin, gender identity, or sexual orientation. You will notice a bit of a theme with a lot of the awards that we go over. So I am going to turn this over to Abby Fritsch, and she will give a quick review of each of these grants, as well as invite the agencies that are all here just to speak a little bit about their programs. Well, there you go.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
I'd first like to start with resolution number 5. This is a resolution authorizing the county administrator to enter into a $75,000 grant agreement with Blue Heart Services. This is a part of the local recovery housing One Ohio. The goal of the recovery housing RFP was to support the development and implementation of innovative and effective recovery housing models and the wraparound support services to individuals who are transitioning out of higher levels of care, such as detox or other intensive programs. The grant will be used to fund projects that offer supportive, safe, and sober living environments, as well as comprehensive support services that help individuals maintain sobriety and rebuild their lives after addiction. Blue Heart Services aims to create a safe and supportive facility for addiction recovery, seeking the National Association of Recovery Residencies, or NAR, their Level 2 certification to meet industry standards for recovery housing. By integrating NAR's best practices, the project enhances its existing model to provide high-quality recovery services, emphasizing sober living environments that promote mutual support and skill development for individuals battling addiction. The total grant award for Blue Heart Services is $75,000, and I would like to invite Steve Maskery, the Director of Development, to speak to you all.
Thank you very much. First of all, I'd like to thank on behalf of all the clients that we'll be able to help in 2024 and change their lives. That's what this is all about. And so number one, I thank you for that. The Humanity Project, as we call it, is a nonprofit organization located in Cincinnati, established in 2022, dedicated to providing comprehensive support, I should say, and recovery services to individuals facing addiction and substance abuse challenges in Hamilton County and greater Southwest Ohio. The Humanity Project strives to provide a collaborative, transformative, and safe environment for residents that will allow them to meet their goals to become active participants in their communities. The main goal is the objective to obtain a level 2 NAR certification in the next 12 months. What are the 4 objectives against that? Again, of this grant, level 2 NAR, we want to enhance recovery services, we want to provide safety and a supportive environment, reduce relapse rates. Where are the funds going to be used for? Here's some ideas in some areas that we're doing. We have a consultant who will help us redesign the program language and look for areas for improvement that are needed. Also, there will be facility setup. The environment and certainly the physical plan is extremely important as part of bringing someone's life to a better standard, and we will continue to do that, and that will be also where staff will be sent. Staff recruitment, program development, training and certification. Then lastly, which is very important, is transparency and accountability. We established an evaluation framework to monitor progress and to make sure that the impact of our program, and then have regular assessments that will guide us in measuring the success and give us any types of ideas on areas of improvement. And I thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Stay right there. There will probably be some questions.
Okay.
Vice President Driehaus.
I have some questions in general about the recovery housing, but I'll hold until we get
them on. Okay. Okay. I do have a question though, and I'm open up to Commissioner Dumas in 1 second. But I do have a question because will these dollars help you get more people, help more people? Because you mentioned consulting, paying for consulting.
We just a consultant to help us to ensure that what we're doing, to get it and to do it better and to do it right and that we're doing it correctly. That's what we're doing with a consultant. Okay. To make sure that we are in the lines and doing it correctly. Taking all the advantages that we can and the things that we don't know.
No, I got you. I just, when they gave the initial, we said we had existing programs, and I thought these dollars would help us help more people. Not necessarily consulting, but maybe I misunderstood.
Right, exactly.
Okay. Commissioner Dumas.
Well, that would be my question too. I was waiting for the answer. Will you be helping more people?
Oh, absolutely. That's what it's all about. Correct.
Okay.
Jump in really quickly. Sorry, excuse
Yes.
me for just a second to get to the microphone. The level 2 certification, recovery housing, there's 3 levels of certification, and level 2 certification has been identified as a strong need, not just in Hamilton County, but in Ohio, and that getting that certification will allow them to assist people with a higher level of treatment and care locally in the community.
Awesome.
Okay, thank you. Did you have any other
No,
questions?
nothing else.
Yeah, I think thank you very much. We have a lot on here. Can we maybe go through them and then have the people come up?
Sure.
That way, maybe that'll help you open up. Or did you want to ask your question now, Vice President Driehaus?
No, I'll wait.
You want to wait? Okay, yeah, okay.
So resolution number 6 was authorizing the county administrator to enter into a $150,000 grant with Oxford House. This is also One Ohio local recovery housing. Oxford House plans to address the recovery housing scarcity in Hamilton County by establishing 3 additional Oxford House homes, offering safe and supportive environments for individuals recovering from substance use disorder. The project aligns with the One Ohio abatement strategies, enhancing access to structured housing for pregnant and parenting individuals, justice-involved individuals, and those in the medication-assisted treatment programs. This is contributing to the positive recovery outcomes and reduced homelessness and recidivism rates. Do we want to?
There's another one.
We're gonna go to another one, then we'll have each person come up.
Okay, and then, so resolution number 7 is also recovery housing. This is a $47,250 grant agreement with Sunstone Life. This is also a part of the One Ohio Local Recovery Housing Programming. Sunstone Life plans to address the lack of recovery housing in Hamilton County due to limited availability and financial constraints. The project aims to enhance recovery housing access by providing eligible individuals with a housing stipend of $35 per day up to 90 days, focusing on recently released justice-involved individuals with connections to outpatient medication-assisted treatment individuals. The project's goal is to demonstrate the positive impact of the stipend on successful re-entry and recovery outcomes. Resolution 8, this is a $135,000 grant agreement with Addiction Services Council. This is for the One Ohio Local Workforce Development Programming. The goal of the Workforce Development RFP was to provide opportunities for individuals with lived experience in the Ohio Certification Peer Support to receive training, paid internships, case management, and career exploration and development, as well as to develop a future prevention workforce of diverse prevention professionals. The Addiction Services Council and the University Hospital's Emergency Department are collaborating to offer free peer recovery supporter trainings to individuals with substance use disorder experience, enabling them to seek certification in Ohio. This program includes case management services for support and referrals, paid internships, and behavioral health and emergency departments. This aligns with One Ohio's workforce development and stigma reduction strategies, aiming to provide trained peer recovery supporters and reduce these employment barriers. The next resolution, number 9, is the $42,000 grant agreement with Exclusive Services. This is a part of the One Ohio Local Prevention Programming. The goal of the One Ohio RFP for prevention programming was to provide prevention efforts in the area of outreach, education, and awareness in Hamilton County. The project should be designed to address issues related to substance use with particular focus on opioids and target vulnerable populations, including school-aged children, older adults, and the African American community. The HOPE project by Exclusive Services aims to raise awareness, educate, and provide outreach on substance use prevention, particularly focusing on opioid abuse prevention and treatment in at-risk neighborhoods of Hamilton County. Targeting vulnerable populations such as the Black and African American communities, adolescents and youth, and the older adults, the project aligns with the One Ohio abatement strategy by providing culturally appropriate integrated healthcare services and focusing on prevention programs in schools, education for older adults about prescription drug disposal, and outreach efforts within the African American community to increase treatment and awareness and access. And then resolution number 11, that is a $165,000 grant agreement with Easter Seals Redwood. This is also part of the One Ohio Local Workforce Development. Easter Seals Tri-State Peer Recovery Employment Program supports individuals with substance use challenges by offering holistic workforce development. PrEP, as the program's called, includes career training, industry credentials, subsidized internships, and a supportive community to foster personal and professional growth, aligning with One Ohio recovery strategies and benefiting the Hamilton County residents.
And by leave 12.
And we have by leave number 7. The goal of this RFP is also prevention programming. Prevention First aims to support and expand the African American Engagement Work Group's efforts in Hamilton County. The project intends to increase awareness about safe prescription drug use and disposal, decrease prescription drug misuse among older adults, reduce stigma related to substance use in the African American community, and enhance access to treatment resources. Funding would facilitate hiring a project coordinator to organize and execute AAEW's projects while collaborating with church leaders aiming to achieve outcomes like improved knowledge about prescription drugs and increased confidence in seeking addiction treatment among African Americans.
Thank you very much. What we're going to do now is I'll open it up if we have questions for the two of you.
Sure.
And then I'm going to ask each entity that is here to come forward and just say a word, if that's okay. Okay, so we open up Vice President Drew.
Yes, so I just want to put this in context a little bit. So we've got two different sources of funding from the settlement funds. One is this local allocation that came directly to the county. I'll give a brief update on the One Ohio Foundation since we're on it. So there was actually, I was on a meeting yesterday. I'm on the grant committee, and it is taking a very long time for folks to get organized in other regions. We are way ahead of the other regions, and we all serve on that board, so we know this. We didn't have a meeting at the end of the year because we don't need to yet. I mean, there's nothing to meet about because we're ready with the application, and the funds have not yet been made available. They're still working on a common application at the state level. So I do want to say that while I personally have a little bit of frustration with that, it is not because that foundation locally isn't doing its work, because this is a result of the work of that group and others trying to identify priorities that where we could go out for bid for these different areas of opportunity to make a difference in this community related to addiction. So glad to see that there's some fruit being born from the local foundation work that we're all three involved in. So I just have a question related to the recovery housing part, and I know there are three of them here. Can you tell us where these are located just generally, like the jurisdictions in which they're located?
We can refer that question to the speakers.
Okay, very good. And then I'm wondering also related to the recovery housing, if these organizations have experience doing this, and I should have probably asked this of the previous speaker, a little bit of background about where they're located and what they're doing already in this space.
Yeah, we can definitely have them speak to that when they come forward, but these are all existing entities providing recovery housing, and they are either expansions, improving access, or elevating the quality of housing that they're providing.
Yep.
Let me just see if Commissioner Dumas has anything general, and then we'll
Yeah, thank you. Just a few general comments. First of all, I'd like to thank you, Lisa and Megan, for corralling all those 20-plus people on that One Ohio board and trying to keep us focused. And so you guys were good with that. And so we did look at what categories we wanted to disperse this money in. And so there was a lot of debate, treatment, prevention, housing, and we came up with some great categories, just so many kudos that I have to say. We also wanted to diversify the areas of allocation. What makes me extremely happy, nothing against the big agencies, but we seeked out, or they sought us out, the smaller ones to get some of the funding, and they did end up, if we approve this, getting the funding. And then we also talked about diversity of applicants, and a few of these are minority agencies, and that's great. We wanted to not only spread the wealth, we didn't give one agency 150,000, another one 20, but we spread the money out, and I'm happy about that. And just really pleased about the entities that received it. I raised some questions about the amount, some of the lower amounts, but it was explained to me, some of these are new agencies and we don't have any familiarity with them, and I understand that. But I think you guys just in general have just done a great job, and we are far ahead down here in Hamilton County, as was said earlier, than up in Columbus and other places. So that's all I had. Thanks.
Thank you. Thank you all. So now we'll bring up the agencies. Is that one?
Add really quickly, just based off some of those comments, just as an update, I'm getting to kind of the end of my presentation, but I'll skip ahead. We had 17 organizations apply, which we did not anticipate. We've also extended, and we've done several post-bid meetings with all of those agencies to offer them feedback, because this is going to be an opportunity that's going to be here for 18 years, as well as the opportunity to apply for the state foundation. And all of the other local jurisdictions in Hamilton County are getting funding as well. We're collaborating with the city of Cincinnati and their allocation, but making sure that all of the agencies are given all of the education and everything that they need, so their applications can only improve over time.
Great, yeah.
Thank you. And I like the part about reporting out results. Because we're not just out here giving money away and going down a black hole. We want to see a dent. And I think the data, I think we, as the One Ohio Board, we brought this up about collecting data. And I just want to say thanks, because I think that's also going to help us.
We also have funding set aside, approved by the commissioners, and you'll see a resolution or a contract coming shortly with the University of Cincinnati for that data collection of not just our local dollars, but also hopefully the Region 2 dollars as well. So we can track all of that and be accountable.
Great, thank you. I just wanted to mention that for those who are watching, that we have thought ahead about having collection of data and what works, what doesn't work, what can we improve on. Okay, so Oxford House. Oxford is in the house. Welcome.
Thank you. Good afternoon, board, and thank you for the consideration of this grant. On behalf of Oxford House, Inc., I'd just like to take the opportunity to say thanks. Oxford House is a nonprofit organization that charters over 3,600 Oxford houses across the country, and we currently have 4 Oxford houses in Hamilton County presently, with 33 recovery beds for men with children, women with children, and these grant funds are going to be used to hire an outreach worker who is going to, over the 12-month period, expand the number of houses by an additional 3, while also targeting and ensuring that we're networking out in the community with justice-involved individuals, people returning from incarceration, that they know how they can enter into a recovery home and have a safe, supported place to live. Those with MOUD who are in treatment, utilizing MOUD to enter recovery housing. So that is our plan with these funds. And again, we thank you for the consideration and opportunity for the partnership to expand the number of recovery beds, because we know it's needed. So.
Thank you. You said you have 3 or 4 houses?
4 houses.
Where at in Hamilton
Let me
County?
pull this up real quick.
We're a big county.
Yes.
You're welcome to join them. You don't come on up. Just a jurisdiction. We don't need the address. But
No. So North College Hill, Arlington Heights, West Prince Hill, and Anderson Township.
Awesome.
So that's where we're located right now, and then we are looking to expand.
Okay. Thank you. Vice President Driehaus.
Yeah, I don't know if you said it. How many beds are you going to, this will help you provide for how many more beds?
So in order to be an Oxford House, there has to be a minimum of 6 beds in the home. So at a minimum, it'll be 18 beds, but generally kind of the average is about 8 beds per home. And so between 18 and 24, probably additional beds to the 33 that we already have.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah. Commissioner Dumas?
Established Oxford House.
So Oxford House started in 1975, and it was started in Silver Spring, Maryland, by a group of individuals who were losing the county funding for a county-run halfway house. And all Oxford houses are self-run, self-supporting, democratically run houses, and they decided that they were going to run the house themselves and pay the bills and hold the, do that. And then since that day, we've grown to over 3,600 houses across the country.
That's all I have.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you both.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Next, we have Sunstone Life for One Ohio. Sunstone Life, I'm sorry. Are they here? Oh, sorry. Hi.
Hi, my name is Kelly Ockberger. I'm the program manager at Sunstone Life Recovery Housing. We're in Finneytown, so Springfield Township. We have a total of 11 apartments. Everything's newly renovated, and 5 people stay in each unit, so a total of 50 beds available at Sunstone. all of our residents are going to outpatient treatment somewhere in the community, and then we coordinate with that treatment provider. So to have the housing provider, the treatment provider, and anybody criminal justice that they might be involved with, all working together to help that person be successful. So they're going to treatment, seeking employment, building support systems, doing the things they need to do to rebuild their lives while living in a safe, structured place. And we really believe that they should have funding when they first come. So a big problem we've seen with recovery housing is there isn't any funding when they need to come. So if somebody's getting out of jail or being released from prison or just starting treatment and they need a safe, sober place to live, if they don't have the funds to do that, there is nowhere that pays for that, right? So we're gonna use what we would use funds for is to pay for 90 days for 15 individuals. So 15 individuals would get 90 days free at Sunstone to get started and get on their feet.
Awesome. And then this grant will help you do what? It's $47,250.
Yep, so it would pay for 15 people their first 90 days at Sunstone. So right now, what we're doing is we try to find funding for each person as they come in the door. We've did a year in review since we've been open this past year and seen that people really need a good 90 days to get on their feet before they have to start paying rent themselves. Right, so we're seeing wherever we can find that funding to get them covered for 30, 60, 90 days so they have time to find a job and get going. So that's what we'd be doing, paying for 15 individuals.
Thank you. Vice President Driehaus.
Thank you. Are you guys a for-profit or not-for-profit? Not-for-profit.
Yep.
Okay. Yeah, it's interesting because these models for all three are really different from one another. And so I think it's an educational experience for all of us to understand these dynamics about how people get to your facility and how they stay there and what the challenges are. Can I ask you, when we talk about people in recovery and getting to treatment and getting to jobs, are you guys on a bus line?
We are. Yeah, right on Winton. We're right behind the Kroger on Winton. So literally you can walk out our doors, 10 steps behind us is a Kroger, and then the bus stop's right in front of there.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay, and I don't mean to put words in your mouth, but I expect that that's pretty important.
It is very important.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
All right, thank you.
Yeah, just to add to it, we coordinate with a lot of community resources. So Cincinnati Works, different places that can help find them second chance employment. But I heard you mention the animal shelter earlier. So we actually are fostering some dogs from them as well. So if the 5 people that stay in that unit all agree that they're okay with having a dog, we bring a dog in from the shelter, they take care of it, and we try to find it a home. And they also will employ our folks. So there's like second chance employment there.
Thanks for doing that.
Yeah.
Thanks. I think that's a good point that you made, that there's not like one, because there is no cookie cutter, because every person's different, every situation. And what I'm really liking about this first round of grants that we're doing like this, it seems like we're touching people where they are and their complexities of life. So that's a good point you brought up. There is no one cookie cutter. Commissioner Dumas.
Yes, just a question. You were saying when you opened this year, you noticed what the needs were for the first 90 days. So I'm just wondering, when did you open? I mean, when was you?
Yep, we've been opened. We opened in August of 22.
22?
Yeah, August of 22.
Of 22. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Yes, thank you.
Appreciate it. Was that it? I'm sorry.
Yeah, that's it.
Thank you. Next is, now we go to workforce, and let's see, who's next? Is it exclusive services?
Addiction
Oh,
services.
I'm sorry, Easter Seals.
No, addiction services.
Where am I at? Hold on.
Number 8.
Let me get myself together. I gotta get my glasses on here.
Number 8.
Number 8, Addiction Services Council. I'm sorry.
There she is.
I apologize.
Hi, my name is Lisa Mertzen, the CEO for the Addiction Services Council. I do want to thank the Board of Commissioners for getting this money to the people we serve quickly and advocating for that at the state level. We need it desperately, and I appreciate it. This grant is a partnership between university hospitals, medical centers, early intervention program in the emergency department, and the Addiction Services Council. We recognized, because we've been doing peer support or peer recovery supporter trainings for the past about 2.5 years for people in recovery, that they're getting into the workforce, but they're kind of avoiding healthcare institutions, A, because it's hard when you have a criminal record, and B, because there is oftentimes a stigma amongst medical professionals where they feel uncomfortable. And we really wanted to do something about that. Kathy Legg is my peer that's already embedded in the emergency department at UC Medical Center. And she's been working under a different grant that has ended. And so this allows her to take what she's learned from that grant and develop these interns. So we'll provide peer recovery supporter training per the OMAS curriculum. 2 of those training sessions will occur under this grant. And then we will be able to provide 8 6-month internships that start in the outpatient behavioral health setting with the Addiction Services Council, and then go into the healthcare setting where they'll complete a curriculum, work with the medical professionals there. We also provide case management services to program participants because we learned that sometimes they need help applying for licensure and navigating that process. Sometimes they need help finding recovery housing for themselves. And we've also learned that certificates for qualification for employment through the Department of Corrections can alleviate barriers to healthcare employment, and we have become experts in completing those applications and guiding those people through those processes. So that's the short and sweet of it.
Thank you very much. Open it up, Vice President Driehaus.
I feel like this one has a double benefit because you're employing people in recovery and helping people in recovery. So thank you for what you're doing. I know it's challenging, but really appreciate your work.
Thank you.
Commissioner Dumas.
Yes, the Addiction Services Council has been around for quite a while, hasn't it?
74 years, 1949.
Okay,
Yes.
that's great. I keep asking the same questions for each person because I'm trying to compare the new to the old. And so thank you so much for all you do.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. Really appreciate it. And next is exclusive services. I'm sorry. Got new contacts and glasses, and I'm trying to adjust to them.
Right. Good afternoon, commissioners. My name is Dr. Benedict Njoku, and I'm with Exclusive Services. First of all, on behalf of Exclusive Services, I'd like to express our profound thanks and gratitude for the grant that was given to us to be able to continue to provide and expand our prevention services in Hamilton County. Exclusive Services is a non-profit organization. We're an integrated healthcare facility, and we've been an integral part of Hamilton County's healthcare landscape for more than 12 years. As an integrated healthcare agency, we have consistently delivered primary care, behavioral health, psychiatric services, and prevention services to the people of Hamilton County and beyond. Our commitment to the well-being of the community is evident through our opioid treatment program, which helps us to dispense methadone, Suboxone, methamphetamine-specific therapy on site. At the heart of our prevention effort lies the Cincinnati for Hope Coalition, which works to reduce African American youth substance use by creating prevention programming, hosting events, and providing educational information to enhance skills and to change behavior. Our coalition is very alive and active in schools, school districts, and recreation centers and community here in Hamilton County. With this grant, we'll try our best to close the gap in prevention services by bringing awareness, education, and outreach on substance use prevention, with special focus on opioid use, especially for adolescents, to some of the at-risk communities within Hamilton County, which make up what we call Ohio Health Improvement Zone. And this zone refers to any community with a social vulnerability index score of 0.75% or higher. This, in other words, means communities with pockets of poverty within what are primarily prosperous, resource-rich areas of Hamilton County. And we're talking particularly about communities like Avondale, Corryville, Evanston, Fairfield, Clifton Heights, Mount Auburn, Over the Rhine, Walnut, West End, and Queensgate. We all know and understand that prevention is not getting nearly as much attention as it should get, as prevention is a very critical aspect of the continuum of care. And there's an adage that says an ounce of prevention is worth more than a pound of cure. So we believe that this fund will help us to continue to work in that space and hopefully expand that space. With this grant, we'll provide for the adolescents and youth weekly training curriculum on some topics like life skills training, substance use prevention programming, youth leadership development and entrepreneurship program for kids, youth, adolescents in and out of school within a 24-week period. For adults and seniors, we will provide education and awareness on safe storage and proper disposal of prescription drugs, medication, especially opioids. We've already become proactive in procuring some of those disposal equipments. For the Black and African American community, we will organize, as we have always done, or participate in outreaches, awareness, education events throughout the county, utilizing culturally appropriate and relevant messaging channels to reach out to as much Black African Americans we can, using some of the channels that we already use, like the reentry program, drug court participants, community programs, and in-school programs that we already do. We pledge to utilize these funds efficiently and effectively, furthering our mission of promoting a healthier and safer environment for all. Once again, we extend our deepest appreciation for the confidence in exclusive services and for your ongoing dedication to the well-being of Hamilton County residents in general. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much. Open it up, Vice President Driehaus.
Yeah, you mentioned that you are working with kids in schools. Can you help us understand which school districts you're working with?
Yes, ma'am. Currently, we are in 3 school districts, 2 school districts and 1 charter school. That will be Cincinnati Public Schools and Sycamore School District. And then we are in Idea School, which is a charter school.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you, ma'am.
Commissioner Dumas.
Thank you. Thank you for your presentation. I'm familiar with exclusive services. The president, CEO, years ago, together we were working on providing healthy relationship training, but your entity was the only one that worked with people with addiction that had relationship issues. So continue to grow, and you were doing great things back then, and I'm sure you'll do great things again. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you very much. Next, we got Easter seals.
Thank you to the Board of County Commissioners for the opportunity through the Ohio.
You pull your microphone down.
Sorry, a little short. Through the One Ohio grant to allow us to do this impactful work. My name is Madeline Anderson, and I'm the grants manager for Easter Seals Redwood. Our mission is to advance 100% equity, access, and inclusion for military veterans, people facing economic disadvantages, and people with disabilities. We serve over 7,000 people each year in Southwest Ohio and Northern Kentucky, and our main campus is on Gilbert Avenue in Walnut Hills. This grant supports our Peer Recovery Employment Program, also known as PREP. PREP was created in 2020 in conjunction with Hamilton County Public Health. We have been doing employment services and workforce development since 1976. The goal of PREP is to provide Hamilton County residents experiencing substance use disorder the essential guidance, employment, and support through their journey toward recovery. PREP primarily serves veterans, people experiencing homelessness, people with disabilities, women, and people living in high poverty zip codes. Through PREP, participants will gain over 100 hours of career development and employment training, earn industry credentials to become a certified peer mentor through the OMAS curriculum, be guided by a peer mentor group, and enter a 6-month subsidized internship through a community partner, get customized case management and supportive services, and after employment, receive 12 months of follow-up services for success. This grant will specifically support staff salaries, the internship wages for participants, and wraparound supportive services. We look forward to continuing to develop a toolbox of strategies for serving each person's unique needs toward recovery and employment. Thank you.
Thank you very much. I'll open it up, Vice President Treehouse.
Thank you. I'm most familiar with the work you do with people with disabilities. And so can you tell me how long you have been doing this kind of work with people with substance use disorder?
Since 2020, but we have, in 2012, we created the Easter Seals Redwood Military and Veteran Services. That was created through a coalition of a bunch of different organizations around the city, and we have found that a lot of the veterans who come to the program are experiencing substance use disorder, as well as people in several of our other employment programs, and so people across all of our employment programs are experiencing this, and so this is why we created PrEP with Hamilton County.
So it's fairly new.
Yeah, it is.
Thank you.
Commissioner Dumas.
Just a quick question. When you broke down the amount that you received, I heard two categories for staffing and then one category for direct services. How does that break down? How much of the amount you're getting is for direct services?
Yeah, so the staff salaries is for the staff, but then internship wages for participants is what our participants, our clients are being paid for the 6-month internship. So that is subsidized by the grant. And then they are interned with a community partner, and the community partner does not pay for that.
Okay, thank you. Thank you very much. And last but not least, prevention first.
Hello, everyone. My name is Nicole Schisler, and I am the CEO of Prevention First. First, I'd like to thank the Board of Commissioners for this opportunity and for this funding in the community. Prevention First is a nonprofit serving the greater Cincinnati region plus the state of Ohio, and since 1996, our organization has focused on substance use prevention. For this particular opportunity with funding, we will be partnering with the African American Engagement Work Group, which is housed under the Hamilton County Addiction Response Coalition. We will also be working with Cincinnati UMADOP and then one of the high schools within Cincinnati Public Schools, which would be Woodward. To date, the African American Engagement Work Group has provided awareness and education in the community. They have referred 178 adults into treatment and 3 youth into treatment. A few of the highlights of this application, and one that I'm specifically really proud of, is our internship program. So we will take 20 Cincinnati Public School students, and we will walk them through education and awareness of prevention. So they'll go through a course type class, and then they will have a paid internship after that, which is 180 hours. So our organization, Prevention First, and Cincinnati UMADOP will provide these internships to these young people. And when they're completed with their internship, they will be eligible to be Ohio Certified Prevention Specialist Assistants, which will give them a credential in the field of prevention. Additionally, one example of this funding will go towards 10,000 doTERRA bags. A doTERRA bag is a bag about this big, and you fill it up with water, and it has a charcoal-like material in it, and it dissolves medication. So if you think about 10,000 bags, those bags hold about 45 pills. So that's the amount of unwanted, unused, unnecessary medication that part of this funding will go towards to just get out of the homes of Hamilton County residents. So thank you for this opportunity.
Thank you. Vice President Treehouse, any questions?
Thank you. I just glad to see the partnership
Yes.
with the African American Work Group, in addition to UMADOP and Woodward. So, you know, we've already invested in the African American Work Group, trying to make sure that everybody has access to the information they need if they are in the throes of addiction and seeking out recovery. So I'm interested in seeing that grow, and this sounds like it'll be a piece of the puzzle. So thanks for the work you're doing.
And to support that, I should have mentioned, I think Abby did in her summary, but this money will provide a full-time position with Prevention First to support the efforts of not only the African American Engagement Work Group as the specific population, but it will universally serve residents of Hamilton County as well.
Okay, great.
Yeah, I don't have anything. Thank you, but thank you for all you do.
Oh, thank you.
Okay, I am going to make a motion to approve items 4 through 11 and by leak 7.
Second.
Commissioner Reese.
Yes.
Commissioner Treehouse.
Yes.
Commissioner Summer Dumas.
Yes.
We have a, if y'all could just sit tight a little bit, just a few minutes. It'll be pretty quick, I think, our rest of the agenda. But they wanted to make sure we get a photo, because this is our first round. They wanted to get a group photo. So I wanted to go through the consent agenda. Shouldn't be that long, and then we'll be able to take a photo. Is that okay?
I thought they said it was next Thursday, but it doesn't.
What's next Thursday? Oh, is the picture next Thursday? You said it was, I'm sorry, Commissioner.
Bridget had indicated it was next Thursday, but I'm prepared.
Oh, will it be next? I'm okay next Thursday. The group, yeah.
She's talking about with the.
Oh, I thought
The group
you meant
here.
ours that we're doing.
Oh, no, with the group here.
That's fine.
Is that okay?
Yeah, it's fine.
Okay, all right. All right, Mr.
These very
Mr.
quickly.
Ludo. Consent agenda.
Consent agenda, Commissioners, item 12 is the auditor's statement of financial transactions for November of 23. Item number 13 is a credit card approval for the Board of County Commissioners and County Administration. Item number 14 is budget adjustment number 1. This is a retroactive personnel appropriation into the Children's Services area of Job and Family Services to make up for an under appropriation in 23, $2 million. Item number 15 is resolution P001-24, accepting purchase orders of the county in an amount of $1.824 million. This is for things such as the digital recording system at the court and the court reporters, computer hardware at Common Pleas Court, and furniture replacements on the 7th floor of this building. Item number 16 is a credit card resolution. This is actually a credit card late fee of $29 in the sheriff's office. Item number 17 is the purchase of 2 Dodge Chargers, a total of $63,000 within the Hamilton County Sheriff's Office. Item number 18 is a then and now agreement with JFS, Job and Family Services, and MedCerts, which does medical training for SNAP and TANF clients. Item number 19 is a resolution between the board and NSG Inc., the award of a contract for security services at Hillcrest Academy in the amount of $414,687. Item number 20 is a revenue agreement. This is the agreement between the Sheriff's Office, the board, and Columbia Township for police patrol services for a 3-year period for a total dollar value of revenue of $3.7 million. Item 21 is a award of an ITB for cell door replacement at the Justice Center for $414,000. Item number 22 is the award of authorizing the purchase of a Centurion Mobile Command Center van on behalf of the Emergency Management Agency, $304,669. This is for the one purpose is for the deployment of drones during urban search and rescue operations. Item 23 is a resolution authorizing credit cards in the Court of Common Pleas. Item number 24 is a resolution authorizing an agreement between Compay LLC and the Solid Waste Management District. This is for technology-based composting services and for Hamilton County households. Item number 25 is the resolution approving and journalizing the collective bargaining agreement with IUOE Local 20, representing the Stadium Security Specialist 1 at Paul Brown Stadium, served case number 2023 MED 090735. Item number 26 is an administrative recommendation to adopt a resolution modifying salaries of employees classified as administrative aides and secretary to the board. Then we have 5 liquor permits, reports of reporting no objection to 5 liquor permits in the county by the sheriff, and that is your consent agenda, Commissioners.
Thank you. I'll open up for any questions or comments. Vice President Driehaus. Commissioner Dumas.
Just one question about item 21, Jeff, the $414,000 for the cell door replacements. Can we expect additional monies to be asked for? Is that the complete cost?
Commissioner, I believe that is the complete cost for this particular project. You're aware we are doing other projects related to cell door locks and also window screens that are at dollar values in addition to this. But I think for this project, that is the, as far as I'm aware, that is the only amount for this project.
Thank you. That's all I have.
I then will make a motion to approve items number 13 through 27.
Second.
Commissioner Reese?
Yes.
Commissioner Dreehouse?
Oh, yes, sorry.
Commissioner Summer Dumas?
Yes.
Okay, I'm going to make a motion for us to go into executive session in the next 5 minutes. I would ask, I don't know if Ms. Daughtry would tell us how she wants us to do the photo. We'll get a photo with everyone. I make a motion to go into executive session pursuing to Section 12122G3 to conduct a conference with an attorney for the public body concerning disputes involving the public body that are the subject of pending or imminent court action.
Second.
Commissioner Reese?
Yes.
Commissioner Dreehouse?
Yes.
Commissioner Summer Dumas?
Yes.
Should we stay?